Okay, good for now. I hope you're right, Andrew. Executive Director and Principal of Europe Economics, Dr. Andrew Lillico. So what does this mean for homeowners or anybody wanting to buy a house? Mortgage advisor and broker Sally Mitchell joins me now. Hello, Sally.
Morning.
Now, I don't want this to turn into an individual session but I have this problem. I won't be alone. There will be people at the moment who came off their mortgage rates just as the interest rates went up. I am one of those people. What would you advise us to do now? Do we go on to something fixed and then watch the interest rate fall down in the next 5 years? Do we go on to something flexible and then watch the interest rate go up? What do we do?
Yeah, it's really difficult to give a blanket response, I'm afraid. It really is as individual as you are. Everybody's situation is slightly different. The best thing to do is get some good independent advice, which is why you use a broker, but I would say that. And look at your individual circumstances. You can fix for 2 years, 3, 5, 7, 10 if you want to. It really depends on your affordability, what you're trying to achieve, what your long-term plans and goals are as well. If you're going to be moving, looking at maybe downsizing or upsizing, then you don't want to be tied into a contract for too long. So it really is individual.
What are the best sort of rates that people can get now, Sally? And compare that, if you would, to what you could get, let's say, even as little as 6 months ago.
Yeah, it's changed so much. We now refer to those rates as sort of COVID rates, which is a really nice catch-all for them. We were seeing things at just under 1% not very long ago. It was crazy. And of course, as Andrew was saying, people got used to it. They think that's normal, and it's not. If you look at the history of rates in mortgages, they were unprecedented. Now, we had the mini budget that really fueled the fire, and fixed rate mortgages just went through the roof. Instead of 2.4%, you were looking at over 6%, and that was pretty much overnight. And in fact, even before they went up, thousands of products were taken off the market overnight because lenders had to withdraw, reevaluate, relaunch, and reprice. And of course, the prices they came out at afterwards were much, much higher. Since then, things have changed slightly.
Sally, I was talking to somebody that works in property this week, and they were saying they're working on predictions that the average house price will go down by about 10% in the next year. Now, we've had in the UK, I think, haven't we worked off the principle that it doubles in price every 10 years? But that was very much a 1990s, 2000 phenomenon. What are your predictions now for the property market, would you say, in the next couple of years?
Well, we are expecting it to drop by about 10% overall. There will still be hotspots which are not affected. And of course, to make that average of 10%, there will be areas of the country where it's slower, it's worse. The historical data is that, yes, exactly that quote, that it doubles every 10 years. But we've had very strange times in the last 20 or 30 years in the housing market. What I'd like to say is that if it does drop by 10%, then that only takes us back to the level that we were at the beginning of 2021. So we have to not panic, get it into a little bit of perspective. These things are cyclical. The markets go up, they go down, and we just happen to be on a downward trajectory at the moment.
Yeah, and a real state of flux, doesn't it feel, for everybody, professionally, personally, on a micro level, all of our own bank accounts, there's a lot of uncertainty in what we can invest in, etc. And on a macro level, well, as we've heard today, still a lot of uncertainty. But thank you so much, mortgage broker there, Sally Mitchell. Right, on Twitter, I've been asking you, do you feel worse off than at the beginning of 2020? Of course, it was the 3-year anniversary of lockdowns this